What if you could connect service agencies like those offering React or web development directly with companies hiring for those exact skills? Instead of hiring in-house, these companies could instantly get access to ready-to-go experts and you make thousands of dollars per deal. That's what I like to call paint sniffing. Now, you might be wondering, Saad, well, what does that mean? Well, it's very, very simple. It's just finding a need in the market and using AI and sales automation to do all the work for you, which is exactly what I teach. In case you're first time watching, my name is Saad and I've scaled my sales team agency from $0 all the way to $80,000 a month in about 8 months using AI and sales automation with no good tools like Make.com. I went from bouncing 5 days a week to freelancing, then I got banned on Upwork with over 2K held hostage by the platform to now running a 7-figure agency. So the goal of this channel is to show you exactly how to build and sell these sales systems so you can land high-ticket clients, achieve financial freedom, and never have to worry about a stagnant income ever again. So whether you are a freelancer that's tired of an unpredictable income and you're sick of justifying your work to low-value clients who don't value your expertise, or maybe you're just a beginner who wants to learn how to do this without any sales or coding experience, then this channel is for you. So first, I'll explain paint sniffing in a very simple terms so you can understand how to spot the real opportunities in the market. Then I'll explain why we're connecting service agencies with companies that need their exact skills. And finally, we'll build a sales system that uses AI and automation to reach out to these companies with targeted messages and follow-ups, turning opportunities into clients that can pay you $3,000 to $10,000. So with that taking too much of your time, let's just go ahead and get started.
So what is pain sniffing? Well, it's simply identifying real urgent problems a company is facing before they even ask for help. Think of it like this. So people buy, right? People buy when they are in pain, right? If you can sniff out the pain early and show up with the solution, you win the deal. So it's like selling water in the desert, and you don't have to convince anyone they're already thirsty because they're already in the desert, right? So what we're doing today is we're reaching out to web development or React development agencies with this offer. Hey, while you're building cool stuff, I can find companies that need your exact skills instead of them having to hire in-house. And we're going to build a Make.com system that's going to enable us to reach out to them with hyper personalized messages that's going to make closing deals extremely easy. So the rationale behind this is you become the connector between companies in pain that are already hiring, right? With agencies with the skills to fix it, okay? And you can make 2 to 3K per deal, right? Now, you might be wondering, Saad, well, let's say I manage to land a deal with them. Let's say I implement all these strategies that you're going to show me today. Well, how can I fulfill? Well, it's very easy. The only thing you have to do to fulfill is basically just scrape job boards. Okay, job boards. And it's either going to be, let's say, LinkedIn, so LinkedIn, or Well-Found, okay, which is a platform where you can find companies that are hiring for software developer, software engineer, AI engineer, etc., etc. You can also scrape Dice, okay, so dice.com. You can also scrape Glassdoor. And I have tons of videos on my channel showing you exactly how to scrape job boarding. So you scrape job boards of these companies hiring for those exact roles, right? And in your messaging, you could say, hey, I saw a company name hiring for this exact job title. Instead of you guys hiring, which typically takes a fair bit of time to find the right candidates, and is definitely more expensive, I can just connect you with top-level service providers who can basically do the same thing and can start working right away. So this is essentially what you would be doing, okay? So now, our system is going to generate 4 emails at scale. So the initial email is going to be, for example, hey, Peter, came across Blue Light, which is just a hypothetical company, saw your recent work and thought it made a lot of sense for the kind of startups I talk to. A lot of them are hiring for AI and custom software devs, but honestly, they'd move way faster partnering with a team like yours. So this is the message that we're going to send to these service providers, okay? If you're open to it, I can connect you with a few who'd likely to be interested in working with you instead of building in-house. Would love to chat more if this sounds interesting. Cheers, Saad Maya Process. So this is kind of like my company name, okay? And then our system is also gonna generate a follow-up. Keep in mind, this line right here is purely AI generated, right? So the second follow-up is gonna be, hey Peter, checking in to see if connecting with companies looking for web, React, and mobile development talent might be of interest. Happy to make a few introductions if it's fit. If you guys noticed here, my tone here is very like growth partner it implies intelligence. And I'm definitely not saying words like meetings, etc. I'm saying introductions, right? So this is kind of like the framework and the way of thinking that I want you guys to implement is you want to frame yourself as a growth partner, someone who introduces companies with their ideal clients, not just a lead gen or just like a random lead gen service, right? Which is going to help you cut through the noise and just basically crush your entire competition as a sales team agency or a lead gen agency. Okay. So the third email is going to be, hey, Peter, quick recap. We scrape job boards to find companies hiring for mobile developers and React developers. These companies are already dedicating budget to the problem your team solves. Okay, so again, very clear offer. And I'm just giving them like a little overview of what we do. We scrape job boards to find companies hiring for mobile developers and React developers. It's very clear, okay? If you're open to it, I can connect you. Again, I'm saying connect you, okay? I can connect you with a few who might prefer working with your team instead of hiring internally. Again, very, very simple, very clarified, and it just makes sense, okay? The last follow-up is going to be like the breakup email, which is the last email that you send to your lead, okay? So, hey, Peter, I followed up a couple times and it looks like now might not be the right time. This will be my last email. I hope there are no hard feelings. If anything changes down the line, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to jump on a call and break it down whenever it makes sense. Thanks for the time, Saad. Again, same lingo, same tone, framing myself as a growth partner, someone who's actually going to connect them with their ideal clients. So now you might be wondering, Saad, well, how can I find these service providers? Well, the simplest and the easiest way to find these companies, and also the best way I would say, would be Clutch. Okay? And many people actually don't know that Clutch is a lead sourcing database. So what we're going to do is scrape Clutch. Okay? And typically when you scrape Clutch, you're not going to find the decision maker or the founder of that company. So what we're going to do is we want to enrich decision maker. Okay. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to use a simple API, and it's going to be Google Search API. So when you want to find the decision maker of any company, simply you can just Google them. So for example, if I type in founder Myo Process, which is my company, okay, I can find the name, which is Saad. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to use a API that's going to go ahead and crawl the web and just going to retrieve the name or the full name of that founder. Okay, so step 3 is going to be use API or Google Search API to find decision maker. Okay. And then once we do that, we're just going to use an AI model that's going to generate all these hyper personalized messages for us. So it's going to be for personalized at scale. Okay. And obviously, whenever you build out a sales system and you're scoping the project, typically you're just outlining the big tasks that the system is going to handle, right? But whenever you build it, there's always going to be like 10 different modules. In my experience, whenever I try to build a sales system, you think it's going to be just a couple modules, but it turns out to be like 100 modules. So we're going to have to find out. Okay. So step 1 is we're going to have to scrape Clutch. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to clutch.com. Okay. And then what we're going to have to do is just going to type in, for example, mobile app development and United States. Okay, United States. So get started. And there we go. So Likeability is a specialized mobile development company excelling in iOS and Android development. Okay. All right. So let's see. So United States services. Okay, web development. Okay, let's just toggle web development. There we go. We have 5,000 company. Okay, so WVA Labs. So let's just copy this name. I'm curious. Founder. So there we go. So here is the founder, Dave Shah. So we're going to use an API that just retrieves this from the internet. Okay. So now I have all of these companies. I have essentially 5,000 companies. How can I scrape them? Well, I'm just going to use a platform called Apify. I'm going to go to Apify. Okay. And I'm simply going to go to console, right? And if you guys are wondering what Apify is, it's essentially like a gold mine of scrapers. You can find a variety of scrapers, such as LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, anything really. So what I'm going to do is going to type in clutch. So clutch. And there we go. We already have scrapers. We have developers that dedicated their time and energy to make our life easier. So clutch scraper, which one am I going to use? So let's see. So what I recommend you guys always read through the documentation, which is going to be in the information, so you can see what the output of the scraper. So what do I give the scraper and what do I get? So this is the input. Essentially, you just given the profile, okay, and then what do you get? Yeah, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. Yeah. Let me just look at another one. Advanced clutch scraper. It's always those ones who only have like 13 monthly users that are going to be the best for some reason. Okay, so what do I get here? I get the name, I get the logo, I get the tagline, description, and do I get the website? Website URL? Okay. So now that I look at this, there's a website and it's a redirect. So it's a redirect. Okay. So let me just copy this. And I believe if I click on this link, I'm going to go to the website. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we need to find a way to just redirect it to the website, which is pretty easy. Okay. So we're just going to use this one. All right. Sounds good. So go to inputs and then let's go and just copy this URL. So Control C and then just paste it in here in the start URLs. Okay. And make sure you always choose in terms of proxy configuration, residential, just because it has the lowest chance of getting getting blocked, just because these platforms don't want you to scrape them, right? Obviously. So go to run options, make sure it's no timeout so the scraper doesn't crash, and click on start and rent actor. So they give you 2 hours for $14, which is pretty good. And click on I think that's pretty much it, I believe. Yeah, okay, so let's just save and start. Okay. So actor pulling Docker image of build. So that means the scraper is getting started. Okay. So we're just gonna have to wait until the scraper finishes scraping. Okay. So okay, it uses Cheerio. Interesting. Start an X virtual frame buffer. I don't know what that is. So we'll just wait a little bit and we're going to see the output starting to populate. So it looks like we have an issue with this one. So it looks like this scraper. So this one didn't work. All right. So let's just use another one. Okay. No worries. So the cool part about Apify is we have a bunch of scrapers. So clutch again. And let's see. Let's just use this clutch co-scraper. Okay, and let's just paste that in here. Okay, I think this one is going to be better. So scrape company page. Okay, let's just scrape also company pages, use real browsers, and let's just scrape 2000. Okay, and make sure it's residential again. Run options is going to be no timeout. And click on start. Rent actor. Okay. I think this is going to work. Okay, great. So system info, Apify version, basic crawler, starting the crawler, found 80 records. Okay, this was successful. So that means we can scrape. All right, great. So we get the description, we get the hourly rate, we get the summary, we get the website. Okay, great. Awesome. So now we don't have to deal with redirects. So the only thing we have to do is just split some of this right here. And probably going to use AI for this, honestly, just because it's not consistent. Okay, great. So we also have the summary, you have the tagline, we have the services. So they provide mobile app development. So we can use that in our copy. And our copy is always going and is also going to be AI generated. So we're just going to feed this services to AI, and AI is going to generate the entire template and message. Okay. Okay, so profile, we also get the logo. Just give me ideas. Minimum project size. So you can even like add this to Google Sheets and basically filter by project size. And then you could go ahead and reach out to these companies, and you can just say, hey, I have a list of these companies. Which one do you think would be the best fit? You know, we have the hourly rate founded on employee count, which is pretty good. Description, awesome. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause the recording a little bit until the scraper finishes scraping. I'm going to get back to you. All right, sweet. So we just scraped 2,000 leads. Okay, that took a lot less than I thought. Okay, so now we have all this data. Well, what do we do with it? Okay, so we're going to go to make.com and we're going to start building. Okay, so go to make.com, which is going to be our no-code tool. And then we're going to go to create new scenario. Okay. And then simply click on this plus button, type in Apify in the search bar, choose Apify, scroll down, and it's going to be get dataset items. Okay. Now you're going to click on add, click on connection type, and it's going to be Apify API token. Okay. Go to run, and you're going to go to settings. Okay. Which is basically the easiest way to just authenticate. Go to API integration. Okay. And you see this default API token, just copy it. Okay. And then go back to make, paste that in here. Okay. And you see this connection name. You can name this whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it how it is. I'm just going to click on save. All right. So now we're going to have to hard code the dataset ID. And the dataset ID is where the data is. Okay. So essentially, the scraper stores the data, right? The leads here in our example in that dataset ID. So you're going to have to go to storage, right? Which is going to be storage dataset ID. So simply copy it. Okay. And then you're going to have to go back to make and paste that in here. Okay. And then go to limit, and it's going to be 1. Okay. So click on save now and run once. So if I run this, I can get access to the data that I just scraped. Okay. So I have websites, I have the services that they provide, focus percentages. So this is empty. We get summary. Okay, this is what I'm interested in, the summary. Okay, great. So now, okay, let's just name this. For example, get data from Apify. Okay. Okay. So now, you see this website. We have the contact us. Now we don't want that. So I just want to strip this contact us, and then essentially just get the website. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use AI to just handle this for me, just because the data is inconsistent. And if I want to use like a formula in Make or something, sometimes like the data is going to be like, I'm going to get errors. So the best way, just use AI. I'm going to click on this plus button, and I'll just choose my AI model of choice is going to be Anthropic Claude. Create a prompt, and obviously you can use any AI model that you want. You do not need to be married to Anthropic. You can use Perplexity or like a cheap model like Gemini, etc. So I'm just going to go to model. It's going to be Sonets. Max tokens, I'm just going to use 750, not that much. Go to add messages, role user. And before I actually proceed, let me just put myself here so you can see everything. All right, perfect. And then let's continue. Okay, so user content, and content is going to be type and is going to be text. Okay, so what I'm going to do is retrieve the website URL from website, output the finalized result only as result equals website.com. Example, for example, let's just put https appzoro.com. The best way to train an AI model is just give it like an example that's already in the records that you have, or the data that you have. / contact us. example, and let's just copy results. Results would be, and it would be appzoro.com. Okay, sweet. Result only in the correct JSON. And it would be that way. Okay, so click on save. And now we're going to have to parse that JSON because it's JSON. So JSON, parse JSON. Okay, great. So now I can just parse the JSON by mapping the text. Okay, now if I run once, check this out. Now yell is going to make at you, make is going to yell at you. Is going to say a transformer should not be the last module. So ignore and run once. So sweet, I have the website now. Okay, now let's just try and run this in like 5 records. Okay, second one. Okay, great. Third one. Okay, great. Fourth one, amazing. Fifth one, amazing. Now that I'm using AI, it's way better. If I try to structure it, I'm going to get issues. So this is going to be get domain or format domain. Okay. So now I essentially have the website. I also, okay, I need to find the decision maker, right? So scrape clutch, done. Now I have to enrich decision maker. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to rapid API, rapidapi.com, rapidapi.com. Okay, and essentially like a rapid API it's like a marketplace for APIs. You can go ahead and like find like email finders, email enrichment platforms, even like some hidden APIs that nobody actually knows about. Like you can even scrape Apollo using their API, etc. There's like some hidden APIs that some developers just develop and they just sell it completely. You know, it's kind of like a marketplace, right? So we'll just go ahead and sign in. Okay. And let me walk you through how you can use it. Okay, so you're gonna go and type in Google search. Okay, so essentially you can type in anything. You can just type in job, etc. because they have like multiple like categories. So I think it's gonna be here is API, I believe. Is it? So rapid API, scraper. Okay, it's scraper link. So this is the one. I'm gonna link in the resource, which is gonna be scraper link. I believe if I type in scraper link. Okay. Scraper link. Yeah, this is the one. So scraper link, which is the one that we're going to be using. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to open playground. So make sure you open the playground, which is going to be here. And now what you have to do is you're going to go to curl. Okay. So it's a curl get request. All right, good. So I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to go to HTTP, make a request. And the URL that we're going to be using is going to be in my playbook. I already have it, okay? Just because I do this every single day and I don't have to like just try to find the URL every single time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to link you everything here in the resource, obviously. So don't worry about it. So I have like an API or like a search where I go and find the founder and also the hiring manager, okay? So again, if you are, let's say you, like I said, let's say you land a deal with these companies, you can use this rapid API again to find the hiring manager. Let's say there's a job listing and you can't find the person who actually posted the jobs. You can reach out to them, okay? And it's typically going to be the hiring manager or like talent acquisition like specialist, etc. So you can just use this API and use the same thing, the same principle, like finding them on Google. So I want to talk to the founders. I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here and I'm going to just map the data. So the company name that we have is going to be the company name that we got, which is title, okay? So title. And the website is going to be the data that we received in JSON result, okay? And it's a GET request. All right, sweet. So let's go back to search. And it's going to be, this is the header. Essentially, this is just like an authentication. Go to headers, paste that in here, and it's going to be host, and the value is going to be Google Search API. Go to add headers, and they're going to provide you with a API which is specifically for you. So copy it, and then just go to name and paste it here. Okay, great. Make sure to parse response all the time, and click on save. All right. So this is going to be find or search founder. Okay. So now let's just put 1 in terms of the limit because we don't want to run 5 bundles. Okay, let's just save this. And then there we go. if I essentially look through the data, which is going to be data, results 1 is going to be this guy, Sam Agarwal. All right, let me just copy this guy. Copy this guy. Copy the URL of this guy. So LinkedIn, and this is the guy, right? Okay, so this is the company name. Okay, that's sweet. Sweet. So that works. Of course it works, Sad. All right, so we're gonna now use again AI to retrieve that full name. So create a prompt again, go to model, and you better believe I have a prompt for everything. So also we're just gonna use a prompt. So user content is gonna be text, okay? And I believe I have it in my playbook. 7-figure prompts, yeah. If you guys don't know, so this is like basically like a couple documents that I've compiled over the years of doing this every single day and scaling an agency. So now I have everything like plug and play, right? And I share this with people in Sales Systems Mastery, which is a community that I run. And okay, so clean names. This is the one that I want? Yeah, okay. Control C, paste that in here, and the text. So retrieve the full name from the data, which is going to be data results, is going to be title, and the LinkedIn URL of that person is going to be the LinkedIn URL. Okay, great. Again, we're going to get the result in JSON, so just copy JSON, paste it. If you guys don't know, you can copy a module and make, and then just text response, paste that in here, and then just run once. Okay, great. So we have the person, which is this guy. Okay, now I have the person's full name, plus I have their website, so I can find their email address. And you can use the way you're gonna find an email address is just gonna use like an email enrichment platform. And on top of my head, there's like an email finder, there's find email, there's scrape, there's hunter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sign you up to find email, right, which is the one that we're gonna be using. And in order for me to do this, I need to go incognito, just because they don't allow you to use the same browser to create new accounts. And I want to teach you how to actually do this, because this is going to have to be practical. Because you might be wondering, Sad, well, okay, well, what do I do now? Like, okay, go to sign up and just type in my name here. And in terms of email, I'm just going to get like an email that I have in like an Instantly account. And instantly just say cold email software. Don't worry about it now. I'll walk you through it later on. So verify a human, and I'm just gonna get like an email there. Okay. Hopefully. So let's see. Let's copy this, and then let's just go back here, and then I'm just gonna go to Gmail, and let me just connect. Okay, great. So let me just put in my email, password. I'm just gonna put a random password, Twitter, thank you, register, and hopefully I don't get blocked. That would be unfortunate. Okay, so we're now blocked. Awesome. So let me just verify my email address. Sweet. So, okay, so find the emails. This is just their onboarding. And then company name is going to put Maya Process, which is my company, 5 to 20. And then you don't have to put in your phone number, LinkedIn, sales, nav, thank you. And then just finish. Okay, great. So that's pretty much it, right? Okay, great. So now I can go to API. So go to API and just name this API key, for example. You can name this whatever you want. And then this API key that they're going to give you. Okay, now simply we're going to go back. Okay, click on this plus button. I'm going to choose find email. And it's going to be find an email from a name and domain. Okay, click on add, paste in your API key. Let's just name this example clutch. Okay, and then let's just save this now. So sweet, now we've successfully authenticated our find email. Now we can just map the full name, which is going to be this person, and the website. Result, and then save this, and then let's just run once. So I think, let's see if find email is going to find the email. Okay, so it couldn't find the email. Let's just offset the first one, skip the first one, meaning, and then let's just save, okay? Okay, so we found the email. Okay, great, awesome. So we're gonna have to add a filter, so condition. Condition is actually we need to do that later on. Okay, so let's just name this find email, and this is gonna be structure or format full name. Okay, so let's just save this, auto align this, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so now we enrich the decision maker using the Google Search API. We found the email. Now we have to personalize that scale. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this plus button, go to Entropic, create a prompt again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to model, go to tokens 3060, add messages, user, content text. And then I'm just going to plug and play a prompt that I have that's going to do all the magic for me. Okay, so it's going to be in my playbook again, which is, if I scroll down, this is the one. Clutch prompts. Okay, let me just copy this entire thing. Control C, paste that in here, and then let's just map everything. So we're gonna map the company name, which is gonna be obviously in where is the company name? There we go. And then the title. Okay, so the title is gonna be title. Is it title? Maybe tagline? Yeah, tagline. And the description is gonna be the description, and the focus of this agency. Okay, so what do they do? Okay, services. Okay, so focus. Yeah, focus area, and then services provided is gonna be service provided. Services. Okay, let's just save this now. And then, okay, we need to add like a filter here. So only if email exists. So email found, save, and then let's just run once. Okay, so I just got like a rate limit. So let me just change this to this account. Okay. And just remap my connection. Okay, so now let me just run once. Okay, great. Came across Art Plus and Logic, saw your recent work, and thought it made a lot of sense for the kind of scale-ups I talk to. A lot of them are hiring for mobile software developers or devs, but honestly did move way faster partnering with a team like yours. Okay, great. So there we go. So we took the service that they provide and we just plugged them into one template. Okay. So now we're just going to have to generate the dream email, which is going to be tools, sets, variable. And actually, we need to get the first name. Okay. So let me go and delete this module. And I'm going to go to set multiple variables. Okay. And then the first thing is going to be add item. So first variable is going to be first name, and then the name is going to be this guy. So split based off a space, and then we're just getting the first one. Okay. So what we're doing is just splitting Paul Hersherson. Well, not literally, but we're just splitting the first name based off a little space here, and we're getting the first one. So this space, this is 1, 2. Okay, split Paul Hersherson based off a space and get 1. Okay, let me just copy this now. Now the last name is going to be again 2, because we're getting 2, because this it's Paul 1 and this is 2. Okay, so now gets first and last name, and now we're gonna have to go to tools, set variable, and now this is gonna be our dream, or let's say initial dream email, because we're gonna generate follow-ups too. So hey, first name, we're gonna add a dash, and then add the text response, and then let's go to my beautiful presentation here. And then I'm just gonna copy this entire thing, copy, paste, and then again, copy this entire thing, and then add cheers, Saad. Okay, cheers, Saad, Maya process. Okay, now let's just fix this. So we're gonna add a new line here, and then add a new line here, and add a new line here. Okay, let's just save this now. And then we can generate the dream email, which is going to be our template. Okay, which is going to be interchangeable. And okay, So initial dream email. Hey, Paul, came across Art and Logic, saw your recent work, and I thought it made a lot of sense for the kind of scale-ups I talk to. If you're open to it, I can connect you with a few who'd likely be interested in working with you instead of building in-house. Okay, great. So now we're going to have to do the same thing, okay? So we're just going to generate the follow-up. So copy this, okay? And then let's just remove the filter just because we copied it. And then we're going to have to Control V, okay? And again, we're going to have to unlink this. And I believe, yeah, okay, so we need to put this here. Okay, so this is the initial email. Okay, generate initial email, dream email. Okay, we'll just copy dream email. And then this is going to be generate follow-up dream email. And this going to be, yeah, okay, so let's just name this generate last follow-up. So generate breakup dream email. Breakup dream email. I like this name. So now, I believe this email is purely AI generated. So we're just going to have to copy this entire thing. And let's just copy this. And then we're going to have to paste it here. Okay. Save this. And in terms of tools, we're going to just add, let me know. So, hey, again, first name. And we're going to map the response. Let me know, Saad. And then we're going to add a new line here and a new line here. Okay, save this. Same thing. Okay. Plug and play. So last follow-up. Control C. And then paste that in here. Okay. Add a new line here. Paste in the prompt that you're going to find in the description. And then add this here. And again, copy this. Paste it here. And I believe this is not this is the third follow-up. Oh yeah. This is the generate third dream email. And okay, so this is the follow-up. This is the third email, right? I believe so. Okay. So initial email. Okay, get in the first name. This is the first one. And came across. Okay, so let me just delete this. And then let me just auto align this now. And this is going to be generate follow-up. Okay, so this is the follow-up. Okay, great. Oof. And now we're going to have to map the text response. Okay. Remove a new line here. And this is the third follow-up. Okay. All right, great. Let's just copy this. And then I believe that's pretty much it. Quick recap. And then in the recap, we're going to have to add the text response here. Add this. Thanks for the time. Sad. Okay. Now I'm just going to copy this, paste that in here. And then it's going to be the last follow-up. Yeah, I'm just going to have to, I believe this is not AI generated, is it? Yeah, we're just going to have to plug in the, okay, we're just going to have to plug in the last email, which is sweet. Okay. So let me just go, hey, first name, add the follow-up, which is going to be follow-up, copy this, paste that in here. And then, thanks for the time, Saad. Okay, great. So this is going to be breakup, dream email. And this is going to be third follow-up, dream email. And then this is going to be generate third follow-up. Okay, now let's just save this, auto-align this, and then let's just run this end to end. Okay, sweet. So we generated the first initial email, and we got the first name, and I believe we have an issue. Oh yeah, we forgot to add to here. Yeah. Okay, so first email, hey Paul, and then the second email, checking in. Okay. And then we forgot to yeah, we're gonna have to remove a new line here. And then the last one, hey, quick recap, we scrape job boards to prevent companies hiring for mobile app developers. These companies are already dedicating the budget. And then let's just remove the new line here. And then that's pretty much it. Okay. So now let's just add this to our instantly campaign, which is going to be our cold email software, which is going to instantly add lead to a campaign. And then let me just go to instantly show you how to authenticate. So go to login. Okay. And then go to campaign, clutch, web devs, and continue. And then you're going to have to go to settings, go to integration, API keys, go to version 1, always version 1, copy your API key, go to add, paste that in here. Okay. All right. So you're going to go to campaign ID. Now I get access to it. So clutch, the lead's email is going to be the email that I found, which is email. And the first name is going to be first name, last name, last name. And the company name is going to be, I'll just map it from, yeah, I'll map it from company. Way better. And then the personalization is going to be initial email. And again, go to custom variables, follow up. And there's going to be checking in. Third follow up is going to be quick recap. And the last follow up will be the last, no, is it? Yeah, the breakup email. Okay, so now let's just run this. And let me go to the campaign. Okay, so I added my lead to instantly. Okay, if I go to sequences, personalization, I'm going to get preview where I have the person's email. And then let me just refresh everything. And then I can just type in personalization. If I go to add step, I'm going to add follow up. And again, third step is going to be third follow up. Great. And then the last step, which is going to be breakup, which is, where is the breakup? Okay, the third follow up. Is it? Oh. So last follow up. Last follow up. Is it? Okay, great. So I'm just going to add send from iPhone, my iPhone, copy this entire thing, save. Again, send from my iPhone, which is kind of like a hack. People look at it and they're like, wow, like this person that actually took the time and energy to like write this on their phone. I better reply and give them my money. Subject line is going to put connecting with companies hiring. There we go. All right. So let me just send the test here to this email and see how it's going to look. There we go. Oh, new customer. Welcome. Hey Paul, came across Art and Logic, etc. So I like this copy. So look at this. It just looks polished, you know? So I believe that's pretty much it. Okay. Now the only thing I have to do is just gonna run this in like, let's just try, for example, 5 limits. Again, perfect. So the cool part is now we have Paul And then we have Abraham. We're finding the emails. We're getting everything into our Instantly campaign automatically. And if I go to leads, I'm going to see the leads getting populated. Hey, Kevin, came across 5pack, saw your recent work and thought it made a lot of sense for the kind of startups I talked to. A lot of them hiring for mobile and React devs, but honestly did move way faster partnering with a team like yours. Hey, Scene, came across Calibrate Software, saw your recent work, thought it made a lot of sense for the kind of startups I talked to. Okay. Tipia, Abraham. Okay, great. So from 5 records, we managed to add 4 emails, which is great. So now the only thing I have to do is go to get data, and then you start to batch this. So you batch this at 600, and again, you'd offset 600 just because you don't want to get rate limited. Okay, and that's pretty much it.
And that's a wrap now. You got everything you need to start automating your entire outreach using AI-make.com. And you also understand kind of like the rationale and the thought process behind connecting the service providers with companies hiring for those exact skills. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. Happy to help out, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.